where were we? So we just pass this to uh, sub chapters. Um, so the next example, the Bloggy service, is about these three sections: persistent entity, persistent read side, and publish subscribe. We've seen a persistent entity, right? Uh, like the hello world is a persistent entity. Yeah, sometimes I call it nectar, which is interchangeable because basically it's a nectar. Um, and what is this thing, persistent read side? It has a lot to do with the CQRS. So let me show you the illustration. Introducing. I think there's a nice diagram here. Read. Okay. So we've in the Hello World example, we have only covered this part, the right side of a secure system. So now we will learn the read side of a secure system and how to connect those two sides, right? So the idea is pretty simple. You you manipulate your system through the reads to the right sides, and then the events generated by your actions on here will be streamed to the read side, and there in the read side you have codes that handle the event and transform it into a view into, yeah, let's say database tables that are more suitable for querying, right? And here you have another table, so, or in this case is journal, which only uh, stores this series of events that that was that happened on the actor, right? Okay, Bloggy. Yeah, it's a bit complicated, so I'll just start with the examples. I mean, running the examples. So what do we have here? Oh, so we have a blog surface. We can post blog using this URL. So I just post a blog with ID one with this title and this body, the content. Boom. And let's query our system. No, this. So you see, it creates it returns this blog in the session. Let's create another one. All right. Um, I also have a an endpoint to get the latest three posts. So we only have two, so let's make four of them, just to see that the post summaries endpoint will return only the last three. And we invoke it again. You see? Oh, yeah. It takes a little while, maybe 2 seconds or something, before these events arrive from the right side to the read side. So, for example, here, even though you already add post number 4, you still don't see it here. Well, yeah, you might be asking why 2 seconds is just too slow. Well, it's I guess it's a configuration stuff. So we'll look into that maybe later. Okay, let's try again. You see, you get 4, 3, 2 now. Yeah, it has a lot to do with the. Yeah, we've heard a lot about this thing, eventually consistent. So of course, the thing that you do on the right side doesn't propagate immediately uh, to the read side. So there's a lapse of inconsistency. Um, well, yeah, that's just the nature of this kind of system, which is I'm not such an expert in that, but yeah, we've seen this theme over and over when we talk about distributed system. Mongo, for example, they have this cap theorem and all that stuff. So the same here. Of course, there are some design techniques or considerations to deal with this. Okay, you just pause 4, and I also have a WebSocket endpoint. Okay, just for testing, I have this one. The tick. What does it do is block query service tick. It calls this tick method. Let's see its implementation. Where is it? Oh, there you are. So what does it do here? It returns, so it takes a string, which is the body of your request, and it returns a stream here. A source, a stream is a source, and it's the type of the object in the stream. In this case, it's string. Message. What I do here is, basically just starting a timer basically that repeats every interval, milliseconds, and whenever that interval in every interval milliseconds, it will emit this tick message, which is this one string. So the mapping here, this, right? Let's try it. So I have a simple WebSocket client installed on my Chrome. Blogy tick. Open. No. It was blogy tick interval. Let's put 1 second. What did I do wrong here? Oh, without the blogy thing. So you just open a WebSocket, and then you need to send it a message. Yeah, so it starts streaming to the client until you close the socket, of course. Right? Another WebSocket that I have here is the new post. So so it's interesting because it connects to the Lagom infrastructure. So what I do here, second. Stream, event stream. Okay, I tap into the persistent entity registry. I ask for an event stream for for events of this type of the or of this family. So they have this concept of event family and tag. It's yeah, it's a bit maybe it's a bit clumsy, the API, or maybe it's just the way it is. It's just a way of grouping events of the same family. So the blog event. So what are those events uh, in the same tag? So there we have two events here: post edit and body change. So oh yeah, and we use um, an API named immutable. Thing. Oh, there you are, immutables. So with the help of this library, you just have to define your interface, and with some annotations, then the implementation will be created like this one. So yeah, it does all the necessary things to make sure that the resulting object is immutable. Something that you have for free in Scala, and here you need a separate library for that in Java. Okay. Where were we? Oh, here. New post. Tap into the event stream, and then yeah, for each object we receive in the stream, we map it to you receive a tuple. So you're only interested in the first element of the tuple, which is the event itself, uh, and then you do collect function. It's a partial function, something that yeah, it's a key concept in Scala, but here you do it this way. A partial function is a function that has a different behavior based on uh, the pattern matching. So that's the way that's how it is defined in Scala. But so it's similar here. So this function when the event that match is of type. So when the event match this type, the post edit, you simply transform it into an instance of post summary, right? So this method of it's a product of immutable. So instead of calling the constructor, you can't because it's private. They make it private. So you do it this way. Build. So you transform it to post summary. So the resulting of all this code, you get a stream. You emit a stream of post summary, like you see it here. Post summary. And what is post summary? It's a plain old Java object, also immutable, which I have it. Okay, so it's the generated code. Where do I have the interface? I guess. Let me abstract post summary. Okay, so there it is. So you get the post ID and the title. All right. The rest is the same like in the hello world. You get let's see. Oh no, you don't create anything here because it's the posts have been created in the right side, right? Remember? So we are here in the read side. We are only processing basically the events. You got the new post summaries. So, well, I think that's all. Yeah, we just have touched the surface here. I mean, um, yeah, there are lot of concerns, interesting concerns that I haven't touched, like the clustering, some DevOps stuff here, logging, and all those things. So, but I think after trying this, I guess it's pretty usable. I mean, there aren't many players at this moment in this CQRS world in Java. You have Lagom. What else do you have? You have uh, Reveno. No, Reveno CQRS. Okay, even sourcing transaction framework. I don't know how different this revenue compared to Lagom. So maybe some of you guys have more information about it. Yeah, that's all we have in Java at this moment. Uh, Java CQRS framework. Blah. Hey, there's Axon framework. It shows up as the first one in Google at least. Hey, interesting. Oh, well, okay, so we have three. Ah, man. Reference guide, single page. Let's see. Wow, interesting. Yeah, so I think this CQRS is quite new. So, um, um, for example, if you look in Stack Overflow for questions about I don't know if you look at for CQRS, maybe you okay, fine. Well, it's not many to Stack Overflow standards, just 2000. And when you look at Lagom, search for Lagom, you only have 24 until now. It's so little. Let's see. Let's see. Axon framework. The same, more or less. Only 37. So it's a new space, and uh, I guess it will become more popular in the coming days. So I think it's a good idea that we prepare ourselves for that. Let's compare with the .NET area. .NET CQRS. Not much. Jeez. Wow, they started in 2010. And we're in 2016. Still in alpha. Okay, they moved to Google Groups. All right, so we got an idea. Okay, but somehow, for some reason, I have a feeling that Microsoft is well, the fact that they wrote this nice mini book. I mean, it gives me an impression that they're investing on this as well. Um, but oh yeah, there's one thing here in the Google search. I saw something interesting. Okay, so I saw this an article, cutting edge for the common application. So the idea, I haven't read this article incomplete, but it's about turning or adapting your existing CRUD style application uh, to a secure as uh, style application. And I think it's important because in any case, we'll be working with, for example, in Hybris, we will be working, or any commerce system, we'll be working with existing system, which is definitely not CQRS. So we need to find a way how to build, whenever there's a necessity to build CQRS system based on the existing model. So I guess this article will help me in understanding that. Okay, so I think that's all. So yeah, I will upload this code, so you can try it and have a look at it, and see ya.